All right, y'all, what's going on? How's everybody doing? GoofyRhexxi here. Hope everybody is doing well. And of course, we had patch that went live yesterday. So as usual, as a tradition on the channel here, we usually like to talk about the pros and the cons from this most recent patch 5.10. So got a few things that we want to talk about. There's some new costumes. There's a new Flash event that's going to be coming to the game. And there are also some things that were not mentioned in this patch that we really want some information on. So we're going to talk about that here in the video. But let's start off with the positives. I think it's always good to start off with praise first when you're critiquing anything or when you're talking to anyone. And one of my biggest wins, I think, one of the biggest pros, I think, for this patch, and usually what I look forward to are the costumes, right? Costumes in general typically tend to have no value whatsoever in terms of stats to a character. It's all about just the look and the feel of a character. And I definitely think that the costumes that they've added, at least one of them for me, is a major standout, and it's the one for Killmonger right now. I don't even know. Can we even call this the Killmonger costume? This is literally Michael B. Jordan. Now we gotta talk about Killmonger's nipples. He doesn't have any, or maybe somebody would say that he probably has multiple nipples on his body. We're gonna have to figure that situation out. But I will say this: I like this Killmonger costume. Probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most and trying to be able to grab. Unfortunately, your boy just recently grabbed the Invisible Woman costume, or probably the Cyclops one, so I kind of screwed myself here. I wasn't aware that this was coming out, which, by the way, we should I feel like there's other games, right, where you can go into the offer store and you can buy the costume there. I don't know. I don't like the whole costume bits thing, or at least give players an opportunity to be able to buy costume bits too. Then again, I don't even know if they're going to monetize that correctly. But either way, this is a good costume. The fact that you don't have to go through a battle pass in order for you to be able to get this costume is also kind of a big deal for me as well, because the most recent costumes, the Killmonger, the Zemo costume, a few of the other costumes, you have to go through the strike pass. You have to spend the money, and then you also have to grind through and get through the battle pass in order for you to be able to get the costume bits. So this is a situation where I actually like that you can actually just flat out buy if you already have it available to you, and it's a damn good looking costume as well. So that's one of the things I definitely think is one of the pros for this costume. Now, one of the cons is probably one of these costumes also as well, and this is Jubilee costume, man. I don't know what's going on with this. This is giving me like the whole like 80s aerobic tracksuit kind of vibe. Hard pass on this one right here. I don't. Somebody missed the mark on this situation. I don't know what they did, but somebody missed the mark on this whole situation here. I don't know what happened. Is that like a lizard on her shirt, or is that a tiger? I don't know. Then how you gonna hide the symbol? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this one at all. I don't know what they were going for here. The jacket, the puffy jacket. I don't get it. This is a bad costume, but I kind of still want it because it's bad. Does that make me weird? All right, let's move on. That's probably one of the cons here that I definitely have on this when it comes to this costume. But in terms of more positive things, let's talk about some more positive things here. One of the things I will say I do like are these reworks, right? And I've been liking this for quite some time, that they've been making some changes to some of the older characters that are in Marvel Strike Force and giving them some of these increased kits or enhanced kits, but then also increasing their stats so that they can be amongst the levels or amongst the meta, where the meta is right now. And for a lot of the characters that got reworked in this patch, so specifically looking at Ghost Rider, right? Ghost Rider right now in terms of damage is he's top 10 in damage, and with that rework. You're also looking at a character like Squirrel Girl, who's also top 10 in damage as well. There is America Chavez, also top 10 in damage. So Elsa Bloodstone also, well, not top 10, but top 15 in damage. Elsa Bloodstone top 15 in damage. So they're reworking some of these characters and then bringing them up stats wise, also enhancing their kits and making them better, but then also increasing the stats so that they can be more aligned with where the meta game is right now. And I think that's a good way to try to balance out the game. I do think that this game still does need a little bit more rebalancing because of the massive power creep that they've had in Marvel Strike Force. But I will say that a nice touch is reworking some of these older characters and at least having them be usable. So if you feel like you have to maybe invest into them if you didn't invest into them before, or maybe you left them at a stopping point like I did, where I have my Ghost Rider at 65 and 12, my Elsa probably at 60 and 10. At least now, if I put a little bit more resources into them, I feel good about it, because at least their stats are where the game should, or at least somewhat aligned with where the game is right now. So I like that they're reworking some of these older characters. I like that these characters are starting to be in terms of stats wise and some of kits really important in the meta right now. That's one of the things I definitely will say is good about this patch as well. Now, I have not really gotten the feel of this as of yet, but I know a lot of players are really enjoying right now the new emojis that are in chat. Now, like I said, I haven't really experienced this. I haven't really used my phone. I haven't figured out exactly how to use this right now I haven't figured out exactly how to use this in game chat or on the emulator at the moment. But as you can see, you got some smiley face emojis right now. I know some players will talk about the fact that they've thrown some interesting symbols in their chats, in the Lions chat. I haven't had that experience, man, but it's one of those things that maybe you didn't expect to get in terms of emojis, but it's something that's nice to have now, that's available to you, that's kind of fun. It brings a little bit more excitement a little bit to the game, excitement to interacting. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not quality of life, it's just something that's fun to do and have to have available. It enhances the communication a little bit right in the game. So therefore, you know, I'm all for it. I like it. I think it's a good addition. Probably some other things I would like for them to add as opposed to adding emojis, but I'm still pretty happy with it, and I'm glad that people are enjoying it, because you should have fun in all aspects of the game as much as you possibly can. So I do like that people are enjoying the emojis aspect. I also will say one of the pros for me in this patch is that I know some people are probably a little bit down on this or look at this as a negative thing. To me, I don't. The fact that this is mostly a war patch, right? This is exactly a war patch. It's war offense, it's war defense. I actually like that it's a war patch. And the reason why I like it is because it gives me the opportunity for me to be a little bit more selective in what I want to invest into. So if I am not at the place where I want to be with my raid teams, I can still focus on my raid teams, because I know that, hey, on the priority list of things, war offense is probably number 3, or at some times number 4 if I'm pushing for Dark Dimension, right? War offense might be a number 4 on the priority list. War defense probably number 5 or last on the priority list in terms of things that you're doing, right? So at least for me, while I don't think that any character is skippable, I think we're past the point in the game now where characters are skippable. I do think that they're, in terms of getting shards, you want to be able to get shards on characters, but I do think that there's no have to invest into this character, I have to invest into these teams, unless maybe you need a counter for Heroes for Hire and you don't have Omega Red, and that's another problem too. You don't have Omega Red, maybe you don't have Adam Warlock built up, then of course the Dark Hunter team provides you with that value, but there is no rush to invest into any of these characters. A lot of what I'm getting right now is that people are actually looking forward to eventually being able to invest into Ghost Rider, invest into Dr. Voodoo, invest into some of the Young Avenger characters, but don't feel the angst to do it immediately right now. So I actually think that that's actually a good thing in this patch, especially since we have a 5-character patch recently where we had raid characters that were really, really important that you wanted to invest into. So now this is kind of a little bit of a change of pace. So I actually like that we have a lot of war teams here as well. Now, one of the other positives, but I'm also going to probably talk about this as a negative as well, is that we are getting a new mythic flash event here, and this mythic flash event, it mentions it here. You can assemble the team of Dr. Octopus, Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Kitty Pryde for the Nowhere heist. The mythic flash event would be to earn dark promotion credits, which a lot of us have been saying we would like to be able to open up our red star orbs so that we can get some more dark promotion credits so that we can upgrade our Doom, or some people still want to upgrade Ultron, but we haven't really had the opportunity to open up those red star orbs because there's always been a featured character over the past 7 to 8 weeks or so, right? So I like that they're actually bringing this event around, and I think the characters that they've included here are somewhat good. Better from others, but somewhat good. Dr. Octopus is a character I think a lot of players are using right now for their Doom raids. He's being subbed out a little bit more now at the higher end of the game. Invisible Woman is an old character, but some players like myself have already invested. She's already at G14 for me. So some veteran players would get benefit out of that. Star-Lord is a veteran character. Rocket Raccoon is a veteran character, and Kitty Pryde is obviously being used right now. So Dr. Octopus and Kitty Pryde are probably the feel goods about this, right? What probably feels bad is that you have to use Invisible Woman, maybe Star-Lord, even more so Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon if you haven't invested into them, or if you probably skipped the Star-Lord Legendary event because maybe you didn't feel that character was important. That portion of it may feel bad, but here's the positive spin on that though. It's a flash event, so that means that the first time that the flash event rolls around, you're only gonna be able to do the first 3 tiers, right? You're gonna have to wait until the second time around to do the next 3 tiers, and then you have to wait another time again before you can do the last tier, because there's usually 7 tiers. So there is that feel bad of, man, okay, well, I have to invest into Star-Lord or Rocket Raccoon and Invisible Woman, but at the same time, it's a flash event, so you do have the opportunity to kind of wait around a little bit and invest kind of slowly over time. And if they're giving out really good dark promotion credits, Elite 7 credits, gold, things like that, then maybe it might be worth it to do it. The other bad portion of it is that we've seen some of the data mines now. The data mines are kind of incomplete on this, but some of the data mines do say that at tier 7 that you're going to have to bring your characters all the way up to gear tier 15 and have them at 7 stars in order for you to be able to do the event. So that may be a feel bad portion or feel bad aspect of it. But being that this is a flash event, again, this is something that's going to recur every single month. So I'm putting a positive spin on this. Usually I'll critique the heck out of something like this, but I'm putting a positive spin on it because it is a flash event. This is something that is going to roll around mostly every month, or at least every month, 2 months or so. So this largely can seem like an okay thing for me, because there's a possibility that most likely we might see some reworks to probably Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon in the future, with, of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming out at some point in time soon, right? So that may change maybe our perspective at that point in time, and that may be something that they're also thinking about as well, as we're looking at this. But let's go over to this. We're probably gonna the rest of this is most likely gonna be more cons, right? I think one of the frustrating parts of this patch is that it's been very buggy. There's been a lot of crashes happening. I was in a raid node earlier on, or actually I was in RTA searching in her old crash. You know, it's I was in earlier before I hopped on stream. I'm doing this video live on stream right now. Crashed by just trying to do regular check my roster stuff, right? And I'd already downloaded all assets. So this one seems really buggy. It switched over to low graphics mode on me when I didn't ask for it to switch over to low graphics mode. There's Magneto right now. I'm not gonna pull up the character Magneto, but there's a little bit of a glitch with Magneto right now where the balls that he throws around are really shiny, and they're very blinding. It's like this one big ball of blind right now with Magneto. And I guess, in fairness, his ult does blind, so I guess he's actually really blinding people now. All right, I digress. Either way, I'm just saying, it's been a little bit more of a buggy patch, kind of annoying in a lot of ways. A few of the things that have been missing, or I think are missing from this patch, are things like teal gear. You know, what's going on with teal gear? We have no information on whether or not they're going to give us a war orb. Maybe we might be getting that information in the blog post on Friday. There's also no tech, right? We didn't really get a tech team here. I think a lot of us were really looking forward to having a tech team that we could use in these Tech Doom raids. Yes, we have a lot of plug and play characters, but synergy is needed, I feel like, for a lot of these raid nodes. And getting somebody that can actually cleanse your buffs off your team, I think, is also really important. Kate Bishop is helpful to be able to clear positive effects off the enemy team, but what about your team? You know, Polaris can really kind of do some damage there. So can Colleen Wing in that boss node. Not being able to have characters available to be able to kind of help you out in those areas kind of does feel a little bit bad. So it would have been nice if we actually got a tech raid team. Instead, we got some Mystic characters. We got some war characters. Would have been better if we'd had some tech characters. So maybe next patch, as we've seen some rumors with maybe, you know, War Machine and maybe Iron Man, maybe we'll actually get a a tech raid team. I'm hoping that at some point in time that we'll make some changes there. Tadano Mac, what is going on with the Tadano Mac information? We have nothing going on with that as of right now. He's finished Dark Dimension 5 quite a long time ago, and what the hell? Why do we have no information on what's going on there? They're keeping that really close to the vest. We'll like to see them kind of give some information. Once again, we might get some information on Friday about it in the blog post, but as of right now, we have no information. We have no idea where they're going with this. So we'd like to see them make some change or make an announcement on that at some point in time soon. We haven't even gotten a message to say, hey, we're working on it. We haven't even gotten that as of yet. So we'd like to see that or something come out with that. I really would just like to see something there. Somebody mentioned Moondragon. We have Moon. So we got Cloak to be farmable or Cloak to be fountainable, right? He's in the raid store. Dagger's not fountainable yet, but we're probably assuming that's going to happen some point in time soon. But no Moondragon as of yet. I still think that she's a usable character right now. I use her every day in the skill doom raids. Would like to know what's going to happen with her. Yeah, I have decent stars on her, but what about everybody else that could benefit from having Moondragon? Why is she not farmable yet? Why have we not getting any information on that? That's something that is definitely needed. And then lastly, Omega Red. We got in-game mail that Ebony Maw is going to be the next legendary character. Why is Omega Red? Why are we holding on to Omega Red so much? I don't know what's going on right now. It's just a feel bad in my opinion. I think we already kind of knew that this was going to happen because we saw Black Bolt, right? But what is going on with Omega Red? When is Omega Red going to come back around? It's been over 3 months, it feels like, at this point. Yes, it gives players more time to farm the characters necessary, but this is a concern, a genuine concern of the community, is that sometimes it takes too long for legendaries to roll back around. It takes sometimes way too long for characters to become farmable again. So therefore, and when it takes so long, it means that sometimes they fall out of the meta. Like Moondragon is not necessarily at the top tier of the meta anymore. It's a little bit much. Somebody said Omega Red was at least on 1102 this week. Is 3 months. Stop exaggerating. Still too long, in my opinion. Still way too long. It shouldn't be that long. Jubilee came around a little bit faster. So did Adam Warlock as well. They're kind of holding off a little bit too long with Omega Red, in my opinion. But listen, we're gonna end the video here. What do you think, guys, are some of the pros and the cons, some things that maybe I left out of this video? Would like to know what you guys are thinking here. Leave it in the comments. Want to interact, want to know what you guys are thinking. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel here. Check out the links that are down below. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitch. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe. Deuces. Man, I need some Wawa. That was a long video, wasn't it? Good God.